What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So, on my channel, I try to give you the latest and greatest and give you that real, genuine perspective, uncut, and this video is no exception. So, I want to spend some time talking about Mayweather Promotions, September, and the whole 9 yards. So, bear with me, buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Now, after the Maidana fight, which was a competitive fight, it was a good fight. I enjoyed it. Some people were saying it's a potential fight of the year candidate. It seems that we still don't know what Mayweather's choices are. Like, to me, at first, when he was doing this whole keep everyone in mystery thing, it wasn't that bad because it added a bit of intrigue and enigma, a little bit of mystery. Now it's borderline irritating. Like, I get it. You're the highest paid athlete in the sport or in the world or whatever. But get back to just the basics of boxing. Just have a fight. Like when he was fighting Zab Judah and shit, it wasn't all of this. This is when he was with Top Rank. And even after that, it wasn't all this whole, oh, it's a build up. We got to build up. Like, because if you notice, ever since Mayweather left HBO and switched over to Showtime, the fights have had lower viewings, and I'm not saying that's a direct indication or direct result of HBO to Showtime. Could be, but I'm not saying that. I'm not necessarily suggesting that. However, I've noticed one thing since he's come over to Showtime, and the promotion for Mayweather fights has not been the same. And I do think HBO dogged Floyd Mayweather, and a lot of times the commentators or whatnot didn't give him his full props. Guys like Lampley, guys like Larry Merchant, post-fight, they would, just give him a hard time, not really give him full credit, but suck Pacquiao's dick or whatever, or whoever else that they do like, James Kirkland or whatever. And one thing I have noticed is HBO did a whole hell of a lot, even with this, what I just said, HBO shitted on him, they also did a better job of promoting his fight. Like, you were guaranteed to see, I think the Miguel Cotto and Mayweather fight that was on HBO, and you seen commercials on DirecTV early. You know what I mean? You knew this fight was coming up. I seen good coverage. They would put on Floyd Mayweather's greatest hits, Miguel Cotto's greatest hits on video on demand on DirecTV, so you could watch their old greatest hits. And they also had the Miguel Cotto past fights, because I remember I watched, I think it was Shane Mosley and Cotto. They had that fight on video on demand, just geared up for what was to come. Now, switch over, fast forward to the Showtime move. You got Floyd Mayweather. His first fight was with Robert Guerrero, someone who was not necessarily a household name, and he was a mandatory challenge. He was calling Mayweather out. I have no problem with the fight. However, if you look at the post-fight and the build-up, Robert Guerrero was going to like Bible studies and different Christian channels and stuff like that, and doing a press tour solo. He was dolo. He had nobody with him. He Mayweather wasn't there. They weren't doing the city to city, a couple cities, and doing the stare down and stuff. And you took a guy like Robert Guerrero, who didn't really have much of a name in the sport. Like, people know, if you watch boxing, you know who he is, especially now. But I'm talking about, you have to think about before the Mayweather fight. He just wasn't a household name. You know what I mean? After the Mayweather fight, yeah, Ruben Guerrero saying crazy stuff in the pre-fight build-up, and he's a woman beater and all that. Like, but before the fight, he wasn't a household name, and you sent this man to do the to do the press conference build-up by himself. Like, you weren't there. You didn't travel cities with him. You're like, oh, I want him to get the experience and see how it feels like that a fight of this magnitude, and you struggled to get 1 million or barely get 1 million or didn't do 1 million, even with Abner Mares and Daniel Ponce de Leon and TMT fighters on the card. That's one fight. Then the Canelo. Canelo is the exception because Canelo has a big fan base. Mayweather has a big fan base, and they made history. Plus, they put Lucas Matisse, Danny Garcia on that fight card as well. Another fight we wanted to see. Then, after that record-breaking Canelo event, how do you follow up? You follow up by doing this dumbass Mayweather poll. First of all, they were saying he was going to announce it on Super Bowl. Super Bowl's in February. He didn't announce it in February. Then he said, oh, I'm going to let the fans pick. And meanwhile, time is elapsing, time is going by, and the fans, the public, still don't know who you're going to choose. Then you do this Mayweather poll, and apparently, according to your poll that you have established on the site that you told people to go to, you have Amir Khan as the winner in that poll, even though other sites did a similar poll and had Maidana winning. And then you give it to Maidana instead of Amir Khan. Meanwhile, like I said, time is just going by and going by and going by. And then you fight Maidana with a little bit of build-up. And you have to keep in mind the different dynamics. Maidana doesn't speak English. You know what I mean? They did it all access, but maybe you need a little bit more time to promote and to build up because there's that language barrier. And it's not like a Ricky Hatton, someone who speaks English. It's not like a Shane Mosley, someone who speaks English, or even a Pacquiao, someone who speaks English and Tagalog. So to me, it's just not making sense how they're going about Mayweather Promotions and with Golden Boy, because we're in the same position. It's about to be July. We don't know. It's about to be the 4th of July. Maybe he'll announce it on the fucking 4th of July. You know, he tries to do it big or take the attention off of something else. You know what I mean? Like a 4th of July, Independence Day holiday, and make his big announcements. But still, you're fighting in September, and we still don't know who you're fighting. So I just think it's been a slippage with Mayweather Promotions and promoting of his fights since he came over to Showtime. And I like Showtime. I like what they've been doing. I have no problem. I own Showtime and HBO. It's not about that. This video is not about who's better, like, or I hate one or love the other. I'm just being real, like I do on my channel. And I just don't understand the vision, why you're going and doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like taking so long to announce opponents. I understand you need to build up the fight, but honestly, when you're at this magnitude, you should already be thinking, just like when certain movies come out and they immediately, the first weekend, let's say the movie is hitting numbers, like let's say The Hangover, it was a blockbuster hit for that summer or whatever when it came out, and people flock to see it. They're already thinking about The Hangover 2, making a sequel, and then The Hangover 3 after the part 2 comes out. It's just how it goes. Or the Saw movie franchise. Saw 1 and like, oh, it's a cult classic. People like this. Cool. And they're already working on a script for part 2. And I think with Mayweather, there's been some sort of delay, some drop in the ball where we don't know who you're going to be fighting. And fans want to know who you're fighting. Are you going to do a Maidana rematch? Some people reporting that Sean Porter was offered a deal and pulled out of the Kell Brook to fight Mayweather. Are you going to fight a Keith Thurman? Like, who are you going to fight? Are you waiting for Canelo Lara winner to determine? It's just a lot of fucking waiting. So I understand your opponents are limited. You want to make the best possible money and the best possible decision, best possible. But it's just, I noticed a steady lapse in Mayweather selection ever since Showtime. You know what I mean? From sending Robert Guerrero to do the press tour by himself without your presence. The only one that you really had adequate coverage for would be Canelo, the one. They did have a lot of cameras on that whole event. They did the city-to-city thing. They went to New York and whatever. So that's the only one to me that had the type of coverage and build-up that a celebrated big fighter is supposed to have. Like you look at Sergio Martinez, Miguel Cotto, I knew about that fight like in February. I want to say February. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but I knew about it well before it happened. So I had nothing but time to fucking just sit and let that shit build up. And then they dropped the face off. And then they dropped the HBO 24/7, and that kind of reinvigorated my desire. I mean, they announced the fight in, I want to say February or March. And even though the fight was taking place in June, and I was like, fuck, I want to see this. So I had months to let that shit just build up. And then closer to the fight, like I said, they dropped those visuals for the face-off and the HBO 24/7. Then you start seeing some more interviews and stuff leading up to the fight. Then they had the weigh-in, and then the rest is history. But they gave us time to let that fight marinate. They were all, you know what I mean, earlier in the year, they were in fucking Puerto Rico with fireworks and Cisco performing and rocket launchers and shit. promoting this fight. You know, I mean, I remember I woke up and it was just all over my timeline, just straight pictures and video from the event, Top Rank, and just all the sites. So I think the promotion for that fight was pretty good. You know what I mean? Even though it didn't really do great numbers, so it's kind of contradicting everything I just fucking told you. But Mayweather fights typically do over at least over 500,000. You know what I mean? I don't remember the last Mayweather fight that did under that. So I just think they need to invest a little bit more in the promoting. You know what I'm saying? Hire Ego. I know this boxing shit, so you know what I mean? I'll help you get your books right, help you get your events right. You just need more of an event coordinator. I think possibly with the departure of Richard Schaefer, this has caused some more problems, you know what I mean? Because Golden Boy as a staff and as a entity, as a business imprint, some of their what they were used to not having to do, they're having to do with Richard Schaefer no longer being a part of that. So hopefully they're working on something big. Just wanted you guys to think about this, the promotion of Mayweather events and how it's kind of changed from the HBO days all the way to now. I don't like surprises at all. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, don't ever give me a surprise birthday party or don't surprise me with shit. I don't like surprises. I would rather just a very straight up and down dude, black and white. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to read between the lines and solve the May Vinci code and shit to determine who you're fighting. Just fucking tell me. Tell me I'm fighting Amir Khan. I'm fighting the winner of Canelo Laura. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be this big ass fucking circus. Because to me, it's not really helping you promote. Helping you promote would be get your event in the books early and just start promoting the old fashioned way. You know what I'm saying? But having Mayweather polls and fucking scratchers, lottery tickets, and all kinds of shit, man. Like, you can miss me with that. Save that for the birds. That shit's for the birds. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Mayweather will be fighting in September, hopefully. As long as not Ross Salka, I'm happy out this motherfucker. Let me know who you think you'll be fighting. Let me know what you think the holdup is. Let me know what you think of the video. Do you hate me? I know some of y'all hate me, but you can't stop me. But you hate me. Anyway, make sure you like the video. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.